What's going on, guys? I'm Peter Goes. Welcome to Movies That Credit Reboots. I'll talk about movies that basically have credit reboots or remakes because they're pretty much like the same to me, like reboots, remakes. And this is season 2, and yeah. And basically, I'm gonna say, why, I think, the movie sucks, and say why, people love it, and basically say my final thoughts and what the movie's about. Yeah. And basically, yeah, that's pretty much it. Basically, talking about movies that I feel like don't need a reboot at all, especially the classics. It's ready too late for The Exorcist. Oh yeah, man. It's just, I mean, why did you have to reboot The Exorcist, man? I mean, that was perfect as it is. Just, I'm not really a big fan of reboots. It's just, let's begin. And another movie that's a clever reboot is a action movie called King Kong 2005. So basically, this is about it's just like like explorers they go to a jungle, far from America, cause discovery, new discovery, and so they find a giant ass ape, and they call it King Kong, and yeah, so they try to bring it back to their, back to America, cause like a new species of discovery. Like if they ever discover like the snipe, yeah, and things just go out of hand. Cause why would you bring a wild animal that's like you barely know anything about to a like populated area like cities and but scientists? I mean, what are you gonna do? It belongs in a museum. But yeah, it's just don't just leave nature as it is. I mean, we're killing it enough as it is, and this movie was in 2005, so yeah. I mean, there was kind of a romance, somewhat. Yeah, it's just kind of like Beauty and the Beast, but the difference is Beast was a man before he turned into a beast. This is actually an animal and a human woman. Is okay. Just moving on. Okay, the reason why I don't like it is because like it's just and this is like a continuous problem I have with reboots. Is it's just when they make reboots, it's like they trying to make it new for the new audience because it was 2005. Like the original King Kong movie came like 30 years before the 2005 reboot. It's just they tried to make it new and slightly different, but the thing was for me, it's just too similar, and that's why I problems with reboots. Like when they make a reboot, they make it too similar to like the original movie. There's too much similarities. I mean, you try to do like some differences. It just yeah, but it's just for me, it's like too similar to the actual movie, and it's just. I mean, I see like the slight differences when I see reboots between movies, but it still bugs me because like it's just you're basically like pretty much copying the same movie, like nothing really new about it. Just, I mean, remakes like RoboCop, like the new version, like they came out like 3 to 4 years ago. That was a remake. I mean, reboots and remakes are completely different. Like reboots are like basing, like keeping it like original, but trying to make a new. But with remakes, it's like the same characters but different story. I wasn't really a big fan of the RoboCop remake. It was really necessary to give him a black suit. But back to King Kong. I mean, yeah, giant ass ape, and it's canon that he beat Godzilla. The reasons that I believe that people like the reboot is because with the scene where he's fighting the dinosaurs. I mean that I think was straight up awesome. Like the dinosaur scene where he's just straight up fighting them off, and when he rips I think a T-Rex's jaw off, straight up ripped it right off. I think that was awesome. Yeah, that was definitely awesome. It's just scenes like those, like I said, why people love it. But it's just for people that really love the classics, the emotional stuff. Because back in the 80s to 70s, everything was practical effects. No CGI. I mean, but around that time, CGI was still new, and it's somewhat more expensive. It's just nowadays it's just most movies are just moving movies like King Kong, they just mostly green screen with CGI. I mean, I'm fine with that. It's just not too much CGI. That's that would straight up hurt my eyes. It's just, man, it's just like I said, when people like the new King Kong, because it's new. It's more modern. But that movie was 11 years ago. But yeah, I mean, it's just it's very debatable on opinion. It's basically that's what it is, opinion. Okay, so I'm not really a big fan of the reboot of King Kong because CGI is just CGI. That's my main reason. And I guess most people like it because the action and it's more modern, but I don't know. It's just King Kong. But then again, it was to me. I think it was a lot better than one of the Godzilla reboots. It was a lot better than the Godzilla reboot in the 1990s. That Godzilla wasn't named Godzilla. It was named Zilla. And it was canon that the actual Godzilla kicked Zilla's ass. I mean, it's just that's how bad that the own franchise will let Zilla, the failed Godzilla reboot, get killed off by the actual Godzilla. I found it to be very hilarious. But I was mad to find out that King Kong beats Godzilla. That really sucks, man. I can only imagine because the reboots they wait around 30 years, but then again with the Spider-Man franchise, they already reboot Spider-Man, and it has been 5 years since the Amazing Spider-Man 2. I mean, it was 10 years till the reboot, the Spider-Man franchise, with Tobey Maguire. It's just I don't know. So that's Sony. Actually, I can't remember. Was Sony the one that was one of the companies that worked with making the King Kong reboot? I guess that's one of the reasons this reboot sucked. Yeah, but it's just Godzilla died 4 times. I don't remember if King Kong killed Godzilla, but I swear if he did, I'd be very disappointed. But then I can understand that because King Kong killed dinosaurs. I mean, Godzilla ain't no different from no dinosaur. I mean, he's a reptile too.